All right, everybody. Hey, everyone. Welcome again to the Blended Garden. This is the YouTube channel, The Fairy Gardener. And I'm your host, Jahida Diab. And I'm with my very good friend, Jeff Dupree, an old acting friend. We met through
Yeah,
some old plays that I produced, and you came out and you did your thing. And then you went off and lived your life, and that was like what, maybe 15 years ago? How many
I
years
was
ago?
gonna say it's about 15 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
put your glasses on. We're old now. Look at us.
No, I enlarged the print, so we're good.
I do that on my phone. My son's like, "Why is your thing so big?" I'm like, "Because I'm getting older. That's what."
I know.
I just got a cortisone shot in my shoulder for, what
Oh,
do they call it, bursitis and a little arthritis. I'm like,
really?
what? I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't feel 50 except for in my shoulder. The
I
cortisone is a beautiful thing. Anyway.
yeah. No, I hear you. I get the same thing in my shoulder. They call it osteoarthritis, which is
Oh, is
a
that
whole lot
what
of
they
fun.
call it?
Yes,
Okay. So
yes,
we're shoulder buddies now.
yes. You know it. You know it.
Oh my gosh. So much has happened in the last, like, what, 15 or so years. You are now a father.
Yes,
That's
yes.
awesome. And what's that like?
It's fantastic. It is the most exhausting, thrilling, unpredictable joy that you're ever gonna, receive.
You
And
forgot sleepless because you don't sleep.
sleepless.
I,
Yes.
I didn't sleep for 4 years, the first 4 years of college. The
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
I'm serious, no lie. So
People say that. People say that, but it's true.
it's
It's
very true. It's
true. Do not
insane how
sleep.
true it is. It's scary. Well, so now you've still been acting. So we're here. We'll talk a little bit. We won't do. I guess we usually have to talk about things around diversity, but I haven't seen you in so long. And I saw on Facebook you were in this new film called Venmo. So we'll talk a
Yeah.
little bit about that, and then we'll do a reading, and you'll be I think my 13th guest as a reader for the Blended Garden. And my
Cool.
second male guest, it's hard just to
All
get guys to
right.
come and read. So yeah,
Very cool. Lucky 13. It's
lucky
good.
that. There you go. Well, it took us how long? 20 minutes to figure out the audio. I had to call Kyle. He's in Delaware. I'm like, Kyle, how do I fix the audio? Anyway,
Hey,
so
when we
tell
get
us
there.
a little bit about the movie Venmo that you were in.
Yeah, it's a fun comedic farcical thing that my buddy Mark Bellucci wrote and produced, and it's all about being creative in this COVID time, where we have to use whatever means we have to stay focused, to stay positive, to stay funny,
Mhm.
to be creative, and not to stagnate. And it's just a funny farcical thing that my buddy wrote up, and he said, "Listen, you got to do this. This is a lot of fun." And you know what it is? It's you have to laugh,
Yeah,
and you really have to laugh. And I've always said that, and it's never been more true than now.
especially
It's
right in this pandemic, we have to find
yeah,
our creativity and our humor and joy.
yeah, yeah, and it's one of those things where I play a guy that comes to collect debts that are overdue, and um, I go there and I make sure people know they have to pay or else.
Huh?
Um, but but
Sounds like
it's
that
all
mafia voice.
yeah, yeah, you got to be in Brooklyn. You know what I'm talking about? It's got to be in there. But it's a collector with a heart and with some sense of humor, and I think that's what we need because we all had those edges where things aren't going right. You know,
Yeah,
we see things as going all wrong, but you have to say, listen, you know what? Things we're still here. We can still make a positive impact. We can still offer value. Let's
yeah,
just have some fun, some
yeah.
little fun moments as we go along. And
And it
that's what
amazes me how even through COVID, we still have been able to be creative. And I know, like the book, I wrote this book through COVID. I found new talents within myself from going inward. So it's awesome that you were able to make a film because it seemed like everything just shut down.
yeah,
And
yeah,
how did you
really.
all film that during COVID?
We did some great software where we did it through Zoom,
Oh
and
wow,
we were able to attach a software to it where we were able to splice the video and everything together in one place, and it uploaded, and he was able to edit it right there. So
that
thank
is
goodness for
awesome.
technology, right?
Thank
That we're able to
goodness
get
for
together and do these things.
but technology is nothing if you don't have people who can use it. And Thank goodness for my son Kyle, we would not be having this chat. He would not be hearing it. He'd be like, what? I was like, I'm gonna chat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how can we find this movie? How can we view it? Can we view it online?
Yeah, it's right online. He has it a lot on his podcasts. That one I think is on Vimeo. That one's on Vimeo.
Yeah, and we just type in Venmo, like Venmo, that Cash App.
Venmo, Mark Bellucci, and it comes right up. He's got a bunch of them up there.
All right,
I think
great.
quite a few. A lot of funny things going on.
So Venmo, Mark Bellucci, guys,
Yep.
check it out. Jeff
Yeah.
is great. You were
A lot of
awesome in the play, and I'm sure your daughter is just loving you. Like, Daddy's so
fun. Yeah. Son, he gets a kick out of me.
funny. Okay, see, that's how long it's been. Well,
yeah.
He's so cute because when I see him on Facebook, he's got long hair.
All the hair. I know.
He's got this like cute girly face. I'm sorry.
I know. Right?
They all look like girls in the beginning because they're all so cute. Also, you're a papa of a son. You popped out a boy the first time. I know you beat your chest. Oh.
Well, I don't know, got a little mini maniac. So, you know.
Oh, well, maybe he'll be active. I hope you read The Blended Garden to him.
I absolutely will.
Let him swipe through because, unfortunately, we don't have the book yet, but soon we'll get the book out and be able to.
No, he knows how to swipe. Don't worry about that.
I'm sure.
He knows better than I do. Let me tell you.
Right. All right. Well, let's get to swiping, Jeff. And I'm so grateful to have you read my book, The Blended Garden. So thank you all for listening, and please share this. You can get the book on Amazon.com, Kindle version. And without further ado, Mr. Jeff Dupree reading The Blended Garden.
Oh, thanks for having me. Once upon a time, in a colorful garden, a dandelion sat alone and disheartened. The dandelion saw many flowers from far, all arranged by their colors. It was quite bizarre. It longed to be a part of the colorful array of tall stems in the wind, where they blend and sway. The old lady gardener, with her hat tilted low, arranging her flowers with a wish that they would grow. Now, this old lady gardener was quite confusing. She thought sorting flowers was quite amusing, placing this flower here and that flower there to match and examine, measure and compare. As each flower lived in its own special space, apart from their friends, it was a very sad place. With arms reaching outward, they tried to connect, but sadly divided, they could not intersect. The flowers were angry, and they began to stand tall. They said to the gardener, "This makes no sense at all. We're all so different, our colors unique. Blend us together, and you'll see a great treat. Mixing our colors, red, yellow, and blue, our petals like flags for all to view. A rainbow of ribbons blowing in the wind. The flowers protested. We want to be friends, not separate and sorted by a particular kind. Growing together is how we're designed." The old lady sat in her flower yard. She said to the flowers, "I've been working so hard. Sorting my flowers is tiresome indeed. And could this dandelion be more than a weed?" So tired she was that she took a long nap. And as she slept, zip, zoom, zap, the dandelion slept and slowly transformed, taking flight in the night above the gardener it soared. All was quiet just beneath the full moon, unaware of the magic that would soon begin very soon. The old lady gardener awoke from her dream of a blended garden filled with dandelion seeds. As dawn approached, she began stretching and yawning, her arms reaching up to the glory of morning. As she lied in her wheelbarrow, feeling rested and free, envisioning her flowers as a field of we. This blended garden that I saw in my dream was inspiring, extraordinary, and satisfying to see. The old lady gardener with her flowers agreed. There is magic within this dandelion seed. I will no longer sort my dear flowers, friends. And she blew the dandelion seeds into the wind. Blow this way, that way, and land where you may. You are part of my garden, and here you will stay.
Thank you so much. You read that so sweetly. I could just imagine your son sitting there like, oh, daddy. Well, it's funny. I wanted to ask you about this if it's okay, because I know that with the book The Blended Garden, it's not just about inclusion and
Mhm.
equity, it's also about diversity.
Yeah.
And anything that has to do with mixing of colors, of races, of people, of genders, it's just about blending and coming together. And if I can ask you this, I was curious because we live in a very different time in a good way.
Huh.
And I know that your son is interracial. Is he? And
Yeah.
that's
My son is blend, complete blend, complete blend,
complete blend. I love it. That's a
complete
beautiful
blend.
way to say it. He's a
Yeah, a
complete
complete blend.
blend.
Because my background is a blend, mostly Black, Irish, and a Native American.
Wow.
And my wife, she is Black, Native American, um, Cuban, West Indian. So between the two of us, he's just a complete blend of
He's a
everything.
big old blended garden.
A big old blended garden.
I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it. And I wanted to ask you because we now are in a time where it's very common to see children who are a blend. I love that,
Mhm.
a blend.
Yeah.
Um, but growing up when you were black and white, they called you mulatto, or they called you,
Right.
there were
Right.
different things, like what are you, you know?
Hmm.
And so, do you feel like what like do you feel any of that? Because I always wonder, like parents of now versus parents of like the 70s or the 80s, even the 90s.
Hmm.
When you start to see these young children with big hair and
Hmm.
are you Spanish? Are you what are you? So I'm just curious.
I at being a parent, just a parent alone, I love to see that. I absolutely love to see it, and it is very curious to me because I just want to know the background because I grew up different for me. I grew up, I born in '69, right? I'm a child of the '70s and '80s, right? So right, so for me, having a background like I have, it was normal because when I'd see my family was all different shades and colors and this way and that way. My brothers, my nieces are Black and Filipino. I mean,
Wow.
so yeah, I cousins that are all shades and sizes. So um, I love to see the blend. I love to see people that have mixtures to them in different hair colors and things like that. And the good things, I think my son's going to appreciate that. Like I
Right.
appreciate that. We
Right.
appreciate that people have different have their nieces, their nephews, their uncles, their aunts are going to come from different places and learn about them. I think the most important thing is you can be blended. You can be blended, but you really have to know um, where you come from, why your aunt took care of you when you were 2 years old.
Mhm.
Know why your mom, worked two jobs. Why your mom always told you do this, do that. And I think that that's the most important thing is understanding why the people that supported you did the things they did. I mean, I know you being a mother, you understand that and
Right.
where it comes from, but I think I didn't realize some of those things until I got older. I appreciated them, but I didn't realize it until I got older.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
um,
And it's funny because people used to say, now people don't say it as much. I think we're a little more forward thinking, and also people are so sensitive now. Politically correct. You say the wrong thing, you in trouble.
yeah, that's for sure. For sure.
But I think we should start something new, Jeff. I think that if someone says, "What are you?" Like we should just say, "I'm blended."
Hmm.
Because it's funny. I mean, I if people ask me what I am, I say I'm African American. But I was making a little
Yeah.
joke that I was filling out some healthcare stuff when I was dealing with my shoulder, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna say other because I just feel like saying other or
There you go.
unknown. No, it was called
Unknown.
unknown.
There
So
you
it's
go.
it's kind of like you're either blended well, it's kind of unknown, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
because we're
totally.
all mixed with something
Right, right,
at,
absolutely.
at some point. So that'll be our new thing. What are you? I'm blended. You're part of the blended garden of humanity. Well, Jeff, this was short. It was sweet, and I appreciate you
but,
taking out the time.
but can I say one thing before
You
you
can
sign?
say three things,
I,
darling.
I
Say
just,
whatever
I
you
just
want.
want to. I love the timing of your book. Thank you for writing it. Seriously, thank you for writing it. I could identify with so many things in here,
Oh, tell
and
me
I
a
think
few. We have
like
a little
when the
time.
gardener just listen, I'm going to put things here, put things there, and people just do things because they've done it that way before, not even thinking about it, and not really appreciating the kind of value that maybe mix things up can be. And I think so many of us, we get caught in a rut, we get caught in the same way of thinking that maybe we don't appreciate the simple things that just kind of mixing it up a little bit and understanding that there's so much value out there. There's so many things that people can offer if you just gave it a chance. We look for so many things to defend ourselves with. We don't really look for those things that, hey, listen, maybe I can learn something, maybe I can understand something from a different perspective. And
Right.
I think the way you're writing it's perfect to get a conversation going. You
And
know,
that's
you,
what the why I wanted to do this to get these conversations going. So thank you. I'm grateful that you said that because there are so many morsels in this story. If you
mhm,
kind of look, like you said, from that perspective of um, why do we sort ourselves? Why do we even allow other people to sort us? And like you said, there's like a perspective, an aha moment. The gardener had it, and we hope that
yeah,
people have these aha moments and realize things are, like you said, more beautiful when it's blended.
hmm
You
hmm
know, like good
Amen.
coffee is always called a blend. Just saying,
That's right. That's right.
blend. So yeah. So I, and I, my hope for this, like you said, why'd you write the book? Why'd you write the book? I'm not trying to change the world because the world, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be negative, but the world ain't gonna change. The world has been, we say, oh my gosh, did you hear what happened? I'm like, that happened like millions of years ago. It just looked different and it wasn't on Facebook. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I mean, you
Yes.
can't
Yes.
change the world. I feel like you change you. You change your perspective. And
Mm.
then with that, hopefully the people that are surrounding you will say, wow, I like that way better than this way.
Yep. Yep.
Because really, and I didn't write the book to change anyone. I just wrote the book because it was like an epiphany of how beautiful would it be if we all just kind of intertwined and no one was, sorted into their separate places and identified, and there were no lonely dandelions. I wrote a poem afterwards,
Hmm.
and it was called When It Rains on a Dandelion, and it just reminded me of the plight of I mean, I always think about, my men because I have children, but the plight of the black man. And it was called When It Rains on a Dandelion. And I'd seen a dandelion and it was in its wish stage, but it rained. And so the wish could not be blown. And it just made me think of, what happens when you marginalize people and you
Mm.
don't give people an opportunity for equity and to be able to have the same resources and the same opportunities. Um, to come up, to live, to survive, not just to survive, but to thrive. People are tired of surviving. We want to thrive, you know.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
That's right.
So my hope and wish for this book is that every dandelion gets to transform and be a wish, and every sorting gardener has an epiphany and wakes up and says, "Wow, no more sorting here. We're gonna blend it." And how she says at the end of the book, you're part of my garden, and he will say that we can treat each other that way and share what we have. I was on Facebook today and I saw a post from a friend of mine, and she's
Hmm.
angry. I don't know what happened. I hate when people post and they don't post the story, and then
I
everybody's
was going to say,
commenting. I'm like, well, what
I know,
happened? What
I
are you
know.
talking
Tell me,
about?
tell me the story. I know. I see it all the time too. Like, what
Right?
was that about?
Yeah.
Like, what
And then
happened
there's this button where it says more, but then you can't see the more. I'm like,
there?
Facebook, come on, get it together. But it was about someone did something. I don't know if it was a black actor did something to another black actor. Have you heard of this?
No, not at
I,
all.
I have no idea what it was about. But anyway, they went into the whole crabs in a barrel conversation,
Oh,
and yeah, and whatever happened, it was one of those situations. But yeah, my hope and for this book for adults, because it is a children's book, and I have been reading it to children, but from another perspective, more about
sure.
being kind to each other and not excluding other friends and not bullying and all that. But with us as adults, it's really about feeling like, you know what? I am a part of this world just like you are, and I want a piece of the world just like you have.
Hmm.
Equally. Don't give me I don't want a handout. I want to be able to have the opportunity to be a part of the full garden. I want to how it says in the beginning, he longed to be part of the colorful array of tall stems in the wind where they bend and sway. Like
Yeah,
how many people look out in the world and go, man, I wish I had that.
yeah. Or give me a chance to, hustle for it. Give me an opportunity to work for it. Yeah, yeah. I totally get that. Totally get that. It's a great message for kids too, because it tells them, hey, listen, if you put some energy into it, you can have that. You can do this. You can have that experience or sense of accomplishment. You
Right,
know.
right. And we need advocates. Like in the book, the flowers were the dandelion's advocate.
Mm. Hmm.
They protested to the gardener, like what's wrong with you? This makes no sense. What are you doing? You're separating us, and we need advocates. Anyone who is marginalized, no matter who they are, whether they're black, white, Spanish, gay, disabled, it doesn't matter. We all
Unknown.
need someone unknown. Yeah, unknown. There you go.
Unknown.
Unknown. We just all need someone to say, hey, I know, I see where you're at. You're on the other side of the fence, and you need to
Hmm.
be a part of the garden. And we're gonna do what we need to do to get you there. So yeah. So Jeff, thank you.
Gita, thank you so much for having me. Seriously, great time. I enjoyed reading the book. Really did.
Thank you for giving me your nighttime daddy time, because I'll be honest, I might not have done it. I remember when I was working, coming home, taking care of, and I was like, after 7 o'clock, nobody called me, don't talk to me, nothing. So thank you for giving me your nighttime, and enjoy your family tonight. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Gita. Seriously, thanks for having me. It's an awesome time hanging out with you. I'm glad we reconnected too.
Yes, we reconnected, and I'm sure I'll see you on Facebook. And if you're doing anything else, please let me know. Don't forget Venmo. Say the director's name or the producer's name again.
Mark Bellucci.
Mark Bellucci, Venmo. And I'm going to try and watch it like on my computer, because it wasn't doing something funny on my phone, but I have a cheap Android, so that's all right. So Jeff, you take care, and don't forget you can get the Blended Garden on Amazon.com Kindle version, and we'll see you at the next read. Have a great summer, Jeff.
You too, Gita. Take care. Be
All
safe.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.